Welcome to The Life of Hair. My name's James Atkinson. Thank you for choosing to join me to this week's episode. Now, this week's episode is a bit of a throwback video of something that I actually recorded a very long time ago, edited and never released. For some bizarre reason, I'm not quite entirely sure why that ever happened. So, anyway, here it is today. Hope you enjoy it. It's a bit of a colour corrective turned into a vivid bonanza at the end there. If I cast my mind back to doing it, I remember that there was quite a specific colour choices from the client and I fulfilled those. So I hope you enjoy this, and if you do, then please do me the favour of hitting the thumbs up button. Subscribing if you're new here. I've got over 300 tutorial episodes now on YouTube, so if you head over to the channel page, you can go and check those out. And if you want to take your Life of Hair education one step further, you can always join the Life of Hair Digital Academy, linked down in the description. 50% off for the first 6 months is currently running for about another week and a half. So, until then guys, please enjoy your week, enjoy this episode, and I'll see you again very, very soon. So, here it is. We have got a high percentage of white, natural in there. We've got some very dark natural hair. We've also got some old box colour, which used to be bright red. You can see it's faded tremendously. Gone very orangey. So we started with the box colour because obviously when we're dealing with a box colour we don't really know how it's going to respond. It started to lift quite nicely, so then we applied the root colour to create an even canvas throughout. The end colour was on for about 25 minutes-ish before I then applied this root application, because it was a fairly challenging job. Anyway, we took it off after the maximum of 50 minutes and we were left with this mixed bag of different shades. We've got some orangey pieces on the ends there. We've got a nice clean lift at the root area. Now remember, we are going back in with our vivids afterwards, so it's really important that we create a kind of even canvas, especially as we were using cooler vivid tones. Whenever I do vivids, I generally always put some kind of root shadow, root stretch into the hair. It's really, really important, I feel, to create that base colour that you can then kind of do your other techniques off of. Otherwise they can look stripy or blocky, and I think that's really an advent of the modern balayage techniques that we've used. You know, it's an adaptation. I remember in the 90s block colouring was straight from the root and it was blocky at the root. But if we can diffuse that root area, it makes everything look a lot more blended and succinct, as you'll see when we get to the end of the video. I then took horizontal slices of hair and I just alternated the colours, which you'll see in just a second. But here we're really, really making sure that we're saturating the hair really, really well, getting plenty of colour onto the hair and working it through the section. There's nothing worse than doing one of these jobs and then seeing like a yellowy or an orangey blonde piece left in the hair. You've really, really got to make sure that you don't skimp on the products. So all we did was work through each of the quadrants straight up to the highest point of the head, and we just fully saturated each of the sections as much as humanly possible. I worked with the purple that we had on the root area. I had a green and a blue and a red, which we'll see in just a second. There's the purple at the bottom, the red just above it, the green and the blue above. The client wanted these specific shades. This was the colours that she wanted to go for, kind of a cosmic effect in her hair. So we let it process now for 10 minutes, because remember, the hair's hygroscopic. It will absorb whatever you put onto it, so you don't really need to leave it on any longer, especially after you've just bleached the hair. And I always condition the hair before I put any toners or anything else, especially after bleaching. It won't create a barrier, I promise you. Now, one of the big questions I get asked a lot is, how do you rinse out these particular colours? And I know this may seem like an obvious thing to a lot of you guys that, you know, are very experienced with vivids, but it is a question I get asked an awful lot. And really the one answer to this, and I did a vivid today as I have been in the studio today doing clients, is fast. Fast, fast, fast. The colours won't merge into each other in a very, very short space of time. Just get it off as quickly as you can. And here is the finished result. I really, really love this finished result. It really does have that cosmic galaxy effect. The client wore her hair back a lot, so I was really mindful to put in the sections in that horizontal pattern so that when she pulled her hair back, she could see all of those colours streaking through her hair. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Life of Hair. If you did, please do hit the thumbs up button, and I'll see you again in the next one.